Welcome and welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and welcome to this episode 98 of the Jesus Enrique Rosas show. This is gonna be a bit shortish. I'm about to hitch a ride home finally after this very interesting trip that I had. But I wanted to do a live stream, so just before I take my trip home. We have a couple of things to talk about today. Let me see. Where's my headshot? My chat headshot plus chatter here. This is all over the place. Oh my God, what kind of professional? What kind of mess is this? Why? All right, it's because I need to do. Oh my God, I need to fix this. I need to fix this to see your chat. Well, we're about to begin. We have so many nice people here. J.E. Jam-Pack Hot here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started because it's gonna be a shortish live stream, like maybe 30 or 40 minutes. I'm gonna have nice news. Let's start with the nice news. I got the nice news that I have an article on Wikipedia. You know the nice version of Wikipedia, the encyclopedia created by Elon Musk via Grok, the AI. We're going to be talking about Grok as well. A couple things about Grok. And I saw somebody that wrote, okay, it was nice that Grok wrote an article about me. Somebody said that on Twitter, on X, and they said, okay, that would be nice. What do you have to do to get an article on X? And I asked Grok, what does it take? Oh well, you have to be notable. You need to be have been references and sources. You have to be influencer. Oh, that would be nice. And then Grok tells me, have you tried looking for yourself on Grokipedia? And I said, well, actually not. I just jumped to ask about this. If this was a thing, what should I do? And it turns out that you really don't have to do anything besides being notable, because the thing will do everything for you. And lo and behold, I went to Wikipedia, and turns out that I have an article there. And yes, the article is very like 100%. Yeah, what the article says, 100%. It's is uh, is me. You don't travel in a hoodie and drop jeans, rapper style. Yes, I travel. Je. I do not travel like this. I don't travel like madmen, but I do have this for emergency live streams, just in case, to look like this. But I try to travel a bit more comfortable, especially long stretch. But we have talking about crazy stuff. We have a Trump calling himself. Now we will talk about things like Wikipedia. You know that this is the format of Wikipedia. Trump posted on his Truth Social account that he is the acting president of Venezuela. And well, I have no problem with this. I have no problem with this. Absolutely no problem with this. The funnest part is that, how to say this, those Venezuelans who are in the United States and were complaining that Trump won the elections and is the president right now. Now Trump is also the president of Venezuela, quote unquote. It's very fun to find out. Very fun to find out. They should have put, if you have been following my videos, you know that this is not the real flag of Venezuela. The real flag of Venezuela has only 7 stars. Remember that. That is not the real one. But well, you gotta find both of them. Remember, 7 is the lucky number, 7 stars. But when Trump risks pushing world back to age of empires, some people need a wake-up call, as usual. We have never left the age of empires. Empires have always been around, and they rise and fall exactly the same. And that's what's happening with so many countries right now. This is spot on. El presidente Trumpo. El presidente Trumpo. I have in my in my see, I posted that. It's like he's making the memes. He's making the memes canon. People have had already made this meme some days ago. El Presidente. El Presidente is of Venezuela. It was either Trump or Marco Rubio, but that is what happened. And people are forgetting that this is about who has the most power and who uses it for good. We have not. It's always gonna be like that. I mean, I can understand that people want this kumbaya, totally peace. Imagine from John Lennon, that is never gonna happen. That is never gonna happen. We're gonna be talking about uh, Iran as well. And yes, one topic that I wanted to touch that I don't usually talk about that, but this is important. This is an some advice that I want to send. I know that my audience, there are not that many young men, all right, which is a shame. I should have more young men in my audience. I would like to tell you, okay, what you should do with your life. And one of the things that I always tell people in general, right, but especially this is directed to men specifically. This is a rule for life that will get you, maybe will get you far in life, but at the same time will save you a ton of trouble. Is that you don't stick your dick in crazy. That is one of the best. I wish I had that advice like long ago when I was, I don't know, a teenager. That would have been a game changer for my life, because for so many people we don't understand how Elon Musk. You remember that Elon Musk was with Amber Heard, and I can't imagine. I couldn't imagine that there could be first a public personality, a public lady crazier than Amber Heard, and the level of crazy that we are talking about. But it turns out that not only Elon Musk was with Amber Heard, but he did not learn the lesson. All right, because we have Ashley Saint Clair that 1 year ago she came forward saying that she is Elon's baby mama number, I don't know, 7 or 8. I don't know how many kids does Elon have. All right, I don't know. I lost count long ago, and turns out that she became so unhinged. Like, I don't know, it was 36 hours ago, in which she started a rant. You remember that she was a right wing, or a figure from the right. Okay, there are all sorts of risks. We need to talk about that as well. There are all sorts of grifters that they jump on these bandwagons as soon as the wind changes. I'm not going to name any of those. I have named them enough times. Thing now, Ashley St. Clair is reconsidering her stance about trans people, and specifically to, that to let's say, to get back at Elon Musk in some way, in a very cruel way. She's considering that, well, being trans should be that much of a bad thing. Remember Elon Musk's son, who transitioned, and he has this mental illness, believing that he's a woman right now. And this lady, this crazy woman, has a 1 year old baby, and this is what she says: I feel immense guilt for my role, what she did in the past, how she spoke about trans people, and even more guilt that things I have said in the past may have caused my son's sister more pain. I had to spend like 10 minutes and a lot of brain energy to understand what she meant when she said my son's sister. Oh, she means my son's half brother, the one with the mental illness. I don't know how to make amends for many of these things, but I have been trying incredibly hard privately to learn and advocate for those within the trans community that I have hurt. I mean, this is I think there was Matt Walsh who said when you jump into the trans bandwagon in 2026, that is sad. Is that we have in Venezuela a politician that became Chavista last year? That is the best. That is the worst. The worst time to become a Chavista was last year, hands down. I also haven't said much on this because I have gone back and forth over whether my voice would be helpful on the issue, since it will be framed as disingenuous or just turning because I'm scorned. Yes, you are scorned. You you showed your true colors, and let's say that everybody can see through you right now. Even this reply will become right-wing hysteria, but yeah, I am sorry. Let me know, how can I help? You never do this. You never do this. You never appease to the woke mob. They will eat you alive regardless, no matter what you do. This is I don't know. I thought, silly me, that she could be a bit more intelligent, but I was misled. I was misled by this. I don't think this is the way. And now Elon Musk says he wants full custody of son after baby mama Ashley St. Clair, or Cashly St. Clair, as she is called as well, comments on transgenderism. Elon Musk has confirmed he will seek full custody of the 1-year-old son he shares with Ashley St. Clair following her remarks about a potential gender transition. I will be filing for full custody today, given her statements implying she might transition a 1-year-old boy. I don't know if she said that. I don't know, but I do know that by this point, I used to think that Disney grade attorneys were at this level. I think that Elon grade attorneys are like this up. So yeah, I think that he's gonna get it. But by the way, I was trying to reclassify things. I'm trying to make sure how can I make this shows a bit easier to make on the road, and even if I'm at home, how to make it them faster. And I just stumbled upon this. Why liberal women waiting to be told by the mainstream media what to be enraged about today? And yes, this is basically like you get the chip, you get the menu of the day. USMC Lady Vet. I was blocked by a couple of the largest accounts on this platform for talking about Ashley St. Clair a long time ago, even before the Elon Musk baby mama saga. I wonder how they feel now about her. She knew exactly what she was doing, because if he was some poor guy down the road, she wouldn't have given him a second look. Yeah, that is reality. That is what happened. Most women have known and understand women like her, and we are not impressed. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. This is mine. She was a gold digger. I'm sorry that he didn't use better judgment. Yeah, it's like, again, I said something about crazy women, as in you don't shag crazy women. And yeah, I got the logical responses. Are there women who are not crazy? No, it's like that diagram of crazy hot women. The diagram doesn't start at 0. The diagram starts at 4, because every single woman on earth starts at least crazy level 4. There's no level crazy level 3 or 2 or 1. That doesn't exist. Okay, that is 0%. That doesn't exist. So yeah, you have to look for a level of crazy, or a type of crazy that maybe suits your own crazy, and complements you in some way. She was a gold digger. I'm sorry that he didn't use better judgment, but she didn't either. No, she 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 got what she wanted. She got knocked up, knocked up. Right? That is the way to pronounce that. I hope that he gets custody of that baby. It will be a much better life than being with a psycho mother. Um, that's the moment I've joined. Veronica's in the house. Veronica's in the house. Oh, Veronica, you know about this interactions, the crazy interactions between men and women. You're an expert. You try to guide people. You try to tell people, no, she's crazy. You don't get into that. No, the crazier the better, says King Yeti 6336. The crazier the better. Oh my God. So somebody told me that I should write some memoirs. Oh my God, those memoirs. I don't know. Maybe I could have like two editions. The clean edition and the not so clean edition. I better not keep talking. I'm gonna I'm gonna get into trouble. I don't want to get into trouble. I don't want to get into trouble. Not want to get into trouble. If I talk, if I speak, I'm in big trouble. And I don't want to be in big trouble. But crazy women. I don't know. Sometimes it is my question. It is my genuine question. Maybe I can put a headshot in here. If what is the rationale or the understanding, and does how do you attract crazy women? That's something that I wonder. It's something that you attract because you have some kind of personality or behavior. I know that maybe I have been broken in some ways, and that brokenness attracts crazy women. Or at the same time, people can be broken, but if they don't, a man can be broken, but if a man doesn't have a mojo and charisma, it's not going to attract much. Uh, but yeah, that's something that I've been wondering. Something that I ask myself. And speaking of crazy women, we need another. We have another topic here. Let me see if I make sure that I click. Speaking of crazy women, yeah, always the Mourinho meme. Always the Mourinho meme. When Meghan can make 27 million pounds selling jam, you know society is broken. This never happened. You know that people, you know that some of you are aware that I have a channel dedicated to royals and non-royals as well. And I could say that this is like Jack Mannion says, it's a frequency. Maybe Harry had some kind of frequency or a stupidity, or maybe a blend of the two, and Meghan hijacked that frequency. You know, with Diana's perfume, and cosplaying Diana, and those mommy issues from Harry. She exploited that. That's what I tell you. That's what I tell you when Meghan. I consider Meghan that is smart in some ways, because you can say, okay, Meghan is dumb, but at the same time she got the prince. But at the same time she got the dumb prince. So I don't know how this checks out. But now they're trying to this kind of headlines is like, she made 27 million pounds. She did not make 27 million pounds. That math ain't mathing. That math ain't mathing. Hola, Jesus. My client told me that he'd rather deal with hot and crazy than cold or unattractive and yet still crazy. They're gonna be crazy either way. They're gonna be crazy either way. And now that people are talking about Iran, I hope that Iran gets liberated, gets its freedom. They're gonna be the world is gonna know Persian women. And according to what I've seen online, it seems that Persian women are, let's say, more intense than Latinas. And Latinas in the crazy hot radius must be like an 8 to 8, like 8 to 9 hot, 8 to 9 to 10, crazy, or maybe 9, right? But it seems that Persian women can be rather intense. Okay, rather intense. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. See, go back to here. So um, it's like Prince William's jaw made did the numbers. If she made quote unquote 27 million pounds selling jam, that means she sold 150 million worth of jam, because that is, we're talking about profits, right? Revenue is the total amount. Profits is what you get after all the costs and stuff, which means that she must have sold 16 million jars of jam. 16 million. She did not sell 16 million jars of jam. We know that. Do these people think before they write this drivel? I don't know. At some point, you can imagine that. I'm reached out every day by PR companies. Oh, you have such an amazing YouTube channel. Name my channel. They don't know what my channel is, but they do know that I have YouTube channels. They reach out to me. We can make you appear in the Telegraph, and make you appear on Bloomberg, and make you appear on Forbes. So you only have to pay. It's like the moment that I found out that to have a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, the only thing you need to do, well, besides having the trajectory, but most important is paying around $45,000, something like that, or $50,000, something like that. You have to pay. If you don't pay, it doesn't matter if you have won 5 Oscars and I don't know, $10 billion in total movie revenue. No, none of that matters. You have to pay $50,000, because if you don't pay, you don't have a star at all. You could have saved Hollywood. You could be Tom Cruise. I guess that Tom Cruise has his star, right? That would make sense. But unless you pay, no star. You have no star. So right now, you never know if this is part of a PR package that you got, the exposure in podcasts, the exposure in media, and the more you pay, the more, yeah, the better position you are in this stuff. I I have never considered this, because I know how this works. I know how artificial is all that. It's all artificial. It is exposure indeed. It is nice to have exposure, but at the same time, it's all everything's so antiseptically fake and crafted in a way that no, that's why I most likely I will stick to this live streams. That's why I'm doing this live stream in this completely nondescript room right before hitching a ride home, because this is it. This is it. The way that I interact with you, yeah, they have to pay to have a star. That is the reality. Uh, Trump also has a star in the Walk of Fame. Remember that Trump has this rule. Do you remember that he's in Home Alone 2, right? If I this is in Home Alone 2. Trump has this rule. If you want to film in one of his properties, he absolutely needs to appear as a cameo in a scene, in at least one scene. That's when he appears, pointing down the hall, in that meme. But again, this is the same that we have seen so many times. And we also have this. If you thought 2026 couldn't get worse, it just did. Let's make a date. Meghan Markle set to return to Britain with Harry for first time in 4 years this summer as couple promote Invictus. So this is going to be interesting. According to TASS, big shout out to according to TASS. Happy New Year, TASS. Um, I don't know. And deflection. There's a lot of deflection in here. CW. Always. Always. And they haven't given him extra security yet to Harry. So if her appearance in the UK is purely down to that, then it may not happen. Just because there's to push a story doesn't make it true. They said his security was nailed on. That was a lie. So how do we know this is true? More BS. Yeah, more exposure. At the end of the day, it is a game of who gets the most exposure. It's like I am not going to talk about those awards right now, the dresses. I could talk about this. I have this in this. You just realized how I named this bookmark, right? This is I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to organize this. But Wanda Sykes, you remember Wanda Sykes? I remember her from some roles, but I can't quite remember which one. But it turns out that um, Ricky Gervais received a Golden Globe, and she received that Golden Globe in his name, and she decided to dedicate that Golden Globe to trans people. Okay, imagine that you earn an award. Imagine you earn an award, and somebody's gonna get the award for you. All right, and that someone receives the award, and since you are, according to them, a transphobe, then they're going to make amends with the people that you have insulted with your jokes, and they say that they're going to dedicate your award to trans people. All right? And also this, one of the sides at the Golden Globes. Do you know there are some people pissed off that a queer black woman is up here doing the work of two mediocre white men? Imagine if I got up on stage and said I was doing the work of two mediocre black men. I would be crucified, says Stephanie Tyler. Insane double standard, but that is the thing that is happening. This is not gonna stop happening. There was like this other actress. I don't know who she is, and I couldn't care less. I've been watching less and less movies and TV shows. I don't know when was the last time. I would like to go back to all those movies pre 2000 and try to watch all the movies that I have not watched. It's like I know that you're going to insult me. Some of you are going to unsubscribe. Some of you are going to unsubscribe when I say this. I'm going to apologize in advance. Well, there's one movie that I'm going to tell you. I already know the ending. I was completely spoiled. All right, the movie. And I'm going to talk about movies that it is the movie that I have not watched, and I already know the ending, like ages ago. Is The Usual Suspects. I have not watched The Usual Suspects, and for reasons that how my brain works, I was taking a look at the ending of the ending scene, the last 5 minutes. If you have watched The Usual Suspects, you know what last 5 minutes of the movie I'm talking about. And if you haven't watched The Usual Suspects, I'm not going to spoil anything, but go watch it. And we're going to mention something. Um, some people say that I will try to make a spoiler-free commentary of this, but The Usual Suspects was the kind of movie that went and just blew people's minds. And this was before, plot twists like The Sixth Sense. You remember the? Oh, well, I never saw that. I went to see The Sixth Sense at the cinema. I never saw that plot twist coming. I mean, and which other movie? Okay, the plot twist of Inception, of course, was also amazing. But one thing that I noticed that people doing the commentary of those final 5 minutes of the movie is how we used to go to the cinema, and there was no spoiler. There was no internet. There was no people talking about that online. There was no. We were talking about the the 1990s. The 1990s, there was no there was no internet. Right? I remember 1995. I personally was like 4 years away from using the internet, or 3 years away. And it's like you went into the cinema and you literally was like Forrest Gump's box of chocolates. You never knew what you're going to get. And I think it was a different era, and that we could afford to focus on, I don't know, something for 2 hours, maybe 1 hour and a half. I think that 1 hour and a half is the sweet spot. I think that in 90 minutes you can tell a great story. Maybe in 100 minutes it would be nice. 2 hours, hard sell. If it's Terminator 2, it can be 2 hours. In other, well, in other movies, it's not going to work. But 100 minutes is a good cutoff. But at that time, our attention was, I don't know, different. I'm not going to say that people behaved. Maybe people behaved a bit better back then. Of course, there were phones. At least in the 1990s, I remember that, there was no texting. The first time that I sent a text was after 2000, by the way. And I don't know, the experience of a movie was different back then. And there was all these expectations, all this stuff that is right now, all this noise around a movie. And I feel nostalgia for that era. We were a bit more naive. We were a bit more, I don't know, open to that, to the experience of a movie. And I really miss that. And something that saddens me is that even if we try to isolate ourselves, let's say that there's this indie movie that everybody says that this is amazing, you have to watch this. You would have to, I don't know, to go to a very small cinema with friends and make sure that, I don't know, off hours and not that many people, to be able to just engage with the movie the way that we used to. It's like we need that. We need that back. The actual experience of something, not just how can anyone pretend that watching something in Netflix or watching something on a tiny screen or watching something by ourselves, it can happen. It can happen. When a movie is amazing, I have watched movies in a tiny screen by myself. I remember that one of the first movies that I downloaded from the internet, that took me like 1 week to download, in 2001, I think it was Memento from Christopher Nolan. One of my favorite movies. Something amazing in terms of cinema. A bit hard to follow. I have watched that movie like 4 or 5 times. The kind of Nolan thing, that you have to put actual effort into the movie. You have to dedicate your attention to the movie to get it. And I remember that I watched that on a small screen, and all right, it blew my mind. It would have been interesting to watch it in a big screen. I missed the 10-year anniversary of Interstellar. I will have to wait 10 more years to the 20-year anniversary of Interstellar to watch it at the cinema. And Insomnia, I remember that I also watched it. I'm a big fan of Christopher Nolan. Tenet, please. I still don't get that movie. At some point of my life, I will get that movie, but not today. But that is a reflection that I wanted to give you, is that what is the appreciation? Where is the appreciation of art, of culture, of music? I remember when Rick Beato. Rick Beato is one of my favorite YouTubers. That guy is amazing. He said that that he had to work at a supermarket, packing bags, and when he saved with packing bags, he rode a bicycle to the music store to buy this record and then go to the record to a friend's house that had a nice high fidelity player and listen to the record, the high fidelity, and sit down and actually listen to the record song by song, side A, side B. You remember those days when we used to actually sit down to listen to music? I mean, I was born in the 70s. I remember that. And that was something that was nothing else. Just sat down and experience the music. Wow. What is music right now? Right now is pure background noise. Pure background noise. Something that I saw that was very concerning. That was a chart. I saw that 1 week ago. A chart that specified how many key changes are in popular songs along the years. And it's like you could have one or two key changes 20 or 30 years ago in a song, and right now you are tending to zero key changes. Like you keep it in the same key. Okay, you never change it. So music is becoming monotonous. It's becoming bland. It's becoming boring. What is happening? That's if you want to know more about music, I always recommend Rick Beatos. But it's something. It's how do you appreciate what is beautiful if you don't take time to appreciate that? If you don't give yourself time to put your phone away for a second, to breathe in something that was crafted, was created with love for an art. And of course, we're talking about before the 2000s, before all this propaganda, before all this faux outrage that is happening right now. Oh yeah, no. We need to go back. We need to go back at some way. This is concerning. Thank you, 97 MLP. New music is AI. There's a lot of AI, and AI is becoming very good at creating very catchy music. I have to say that. I have to say that. It's so amazing. Yeah, I miss records and CDs, radios, cassettes, and new music is trash. Blind reflex, you have a point. But at the same time, I'm going to tell you something that is interesting. And maybe you can feel related to this in the sense of, and this is going to be my last thought for today, because I told you that today's live stream is going to be a shortest. I have to go. I'm going to miss my plane. They say that there's this scientific and research in which the music that you listen to around when you were around, let's say 12 to 20-year old, that era in which you begin to acquire some taste for music. In my case, was around that age, 12 years old, and I said that around 19, 20, I already said, okay, heavy metal is the way to go. The music that you listen to in that era is what basically crystallizes your taste in music. So whatever you heard, whatever you listened to in that era, whatever you listen after that, you're going to compare to what you listened when you were a teenager. And that's why we all say music is not what it used to be, even with the same band. Even with the same band, because I could say, okay, I discovered Metallica, for example, when I was 17 years old. That blew my mind. I remember that era. This was that point I was listening to Metallica, Megadeth, Sepultura, Cannibal Corpse, Slayer. What else was listening to? Yeah, very heavy metal. I remember that very fondly. And even Metallica doesn't sound the same. I think after, I don't know, I haven't paid much attention. It's again, Metallica for me, the latest records have become pretty much the same. Background noise. It's sad. It's sad. Okay, I can name two songs from this. What was the record they I put out hardwired from to self-destruct. I could name one song from or two songs from 72 seasons, and that's it. I used to know every single lyric to every single Metallica song from every single Metallica album up to what? Up to Reload. And after Reload, that was it. It's a phenomenon. It's strange. And I'm not saying that Metallica's music has become worse. It hasn't. It is more mature in many ways. But think about that. Think about that. What is that impact that culture had when we were teenagers, when we were absorbing the culture of our time at that age, and maybe we're comparing whatever is well right now. A lot of things are trash. Movies are trash. TV shows are trash. Everything is this propaganda. But maybe we can come back to that in some way. I need to go. I all the doors. I remember the anecdote of Val Kilmer, rest in peace, Val Kilmer, when they were doing the auditions for the movie The Doors, that they were doing the audition for Jim Morrison, and there were all these guys in line to audition for the role of Jim Morrison, and all of a sudden there comes this guy just and a Cadillac. I don't know what sort of car was. Parks on the street, jumps out of the car with those skinny jeans, barefoot, the hair. It just enters. And it was Val Kilmer. And it was so impressive. You remember Val Kilmer in the movie The Doors? It was insane. What is this? It was insane. Remember Val Kilmer? Yes, Val Kilmer is, my God. Sorry to break it to you. Yes. Um, Sadly, Val Kilmer passed away 2 years ago, right? 2 years ago now. But well, my body language buddies, was a pleasure to be here. You know that this is what we're going to do. Today was a bit crazy. Today was a bit off the cuff, but I think this is the thing that you like, and I like it as well. I'm gonna make sure to organize this shows much better. And until we meet on another video, another live, remember the most important words: much love and bliss. Take care. Be safe. I love every single one of you. Bye bye.